Prétérit simple. Le prétérit, également appelé simple past, est le principal temps du passé, exprimant toute action terminée. Il se construit en rajoutant la terminaison ed à la fin du verbe, s'il est régulier. Et si le verbe est irrégulier, il faut apprendre les formes prétérit et participe passé de ces verbes. Quand utiliser le prétérit? Nous utiliserons le passé simple. Si on a la présence d'un complément de temps.
For examples. Yesterday. Last week. Last month. Last year's. In 2010. The affirmative form. Regular verb. Subject. Plus verb. Plus ed. For examples. I washed the floor yesterday. She talked to me 2 hours ago. I studied 2 years abroad. My brother practiced Kung Fu for 2 years. My father played basketball in college. My little sister watched documentary on earlier. I prayed a lot to pass this test. During the holidays, my company employed a lot of students. Irregular verb. Subject. Plus preterite. For examples. Yesterday my son found money on the floor. David went to Africa last week. I woke up at 11 o'clock. We got up at 5 this morning. David came earlier my home. She bought her phone on the internet. I went to the supermarket last week. I thought about my wife yesterday. I saw her yesterday at school. My wife and I went shopping last Saturday. We went to her birthday yesterday and we gave her a gift. We heard a noise in the house. We met a few years ago in college. She drank alcohol last night. The sun rose earlier this morning. My wife forgot her glasses at home so she had trouble seeing.
La forme négative. Tous les verbes réguliers et irréguliers, sauf le verbe être, la négation se forme de la manière suivante.
Subject. Plus did. Plus not. Plus base verbal. For examples. My sister did not want to go to high school this morning. They didn't win. She did not tie the knot. I did not lie about my feelings. I didn't sleep well last night. You didn't call me since 2 months. You didn't tell me you were sick. The interrogative form. Did. Plus subject. Plus base verbal. For examples. Where did you go for the holiday? When did they buy their car? Did you find your wallet? Did you listen to what she said? When did he arrive? Where did you buy this book?
Le prétérit avec ing. Pour construire le prétérit progressif, il faut utiliser l'auxiliaire be et mettre le verbe que l'on veut utiliser à la forme verbe plus ing. Le prétérit exprime les actions qui étaient inachevées à un certain moment, c'est-à-dire qu'on l'utilise lorsqu'on a une action qui était en train de se passer au passé.
The affirmative form. Pronoun. Plus was. Were. Plus verb. Plus ing. For examples. I was eating my lunch when she came. We were driving when we saw an accident. I was thinking when I suddenly had an idea. She was watching TV when her phone rang. They were working when their boss opened the door. I was writing a letter to my sister when the telephone rang. They were playing in the street when their mother called them. My wife was having a rest when I arrived. They were sleeping when the baby cried. We were talking when she kissed me. He was reading a book when the fire started. The negative form. Pronoun. Plus was. Were. Plus not. Plus verb. Plus ing. Examples. I was not eating my lunch when she came. We were not driving when we saw an accident. I was not by-thinking when I suddenly had an idea. She was not watching TV when her phone rang. They were not working when their boss opened the door. I was not writing a letter to my sister when the telephone rang. They were not playing in the street when their mother called them. My wife was not having a rest when I arrived. They were not sleeping when the baby cried. We were not talking when she kissed me. He was not reading a book when the fire started. The interrogative form. Was. Were. Plus pronoun. Plus verb. Plus ing. For examples. Was I eating my lunch when she came? Were we driving when we saw an accident? Was I thinking when I suddenly had an idea? Was she watching TV when her phone rang? Were they working when their boss opened the door? Was I writing a letter to my sister when the phone rang? Were they playing in the street when their mother called them? Was my wife having a rest when I arrived? Were they sleeping when the baby cried? Were we talking when she kissed me? Was he reading a book when the fire started?